What up, Leedz? How we doing? Been a while. Today I got an interview with New England's own Shawn Mics. He's dropped a new album. What up, lazy boy? Typing this in right here. Shawn Mics. Pin. Pull up my notes. New album out. Shawn has a new album out, The Little Things. We're going to talk about it. Lazy, how are you? How's Dorchester? Fro, what up? Steve? Oh, looks like Shawn Mics is in the building now early. Fro, what up? Give me 1 second, Shawn. Shout out Scotty Dog in the building. Andy Willis. All right. Let's see here. All right, we're going to go live. Good to hear. Shawn.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Thanks for making time. I know you got a busy schedule there.
Yeah, well, you actually caught me on a good week, man. I got COVID the day before my album release party was supposed to happen, so just been kind of keeping it easy this past week.
Damn.
Yeah, literally the day before. So the album rollout is already off to a great start.
It's always something, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
I would like to welcome everybody to the Leedz Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by Chubby Chickpea. Right now, we got a special guest, New England's own rapper Shawn Mics.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Yes, definitely. I'm trying to think, when did we first work together? Because I don't really necessarily remember it. I know we have.
So the first time, it was, I think it was literally right before COVID hit. I think we did like a
little showcase.
Yeah, yep.
That was the first time.
Yeah, yep.
Oh no, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because you know what it is. Okay, now I remember. All right, so you had just dropped that Another Day in Paradise album.
Yes. Yep.
And I really like that song, Move Mountains.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, well, let me work with this dude, and you were working with that dude, Deebs or something. It was Shawn Mics and Deebs.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried the, I've done many local showcases, but, when I did that one, I tried it again, but I couldn't get off the ground. Monday night was tough.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough.
You've been doing a lot of shows with, was it Bars Over Beats? Is that what it is?
Bars Over Bars.
Bars Over Bars. Hero. That's Hero's thing, right?
Yep.
Hero the MC. How's that been going?
It's been great, man. Honestly, linking up with him kind of like kickstarted, like lit a fire under my ass again. Because with COVID, it was tough, I got to the point during COVID where I realized I would always go pay and go to a studio and shit all the time. But made me realize I was depending on so many other people to be creative. So I ended up going out, getting all my own recording shit. Now I got my own recording studio in Bridgewater. So it's been nice. Kind of took everything into my own hands.
Yeah, let me ask you about that, because you're saying that you were relying on too many people, right?
Yeah.
Who are you relying on? Your engineer?
Yeah, engineer, just time to book when we're both good, you know what I mean? Both available, trying to build around that, instead of maybe one day I wake up and just all right, I feel inspired today. Let me go to my own spot, kind of.
So it was an availability thing more.
Yeah. And I don't know, for me, when I get inspired and I should dive right into it instead of all right, I feel inspired now I have to make a call, see if maybe I can get in today, maybe tomorrow, next week, whatever, and
So you got your own home studio?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, are you mixing all your stuff too?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so that's bold.
Yeah. So that's
bold.
the thing with COVID. I started doing that, man, and I deep dived into YouTube University. You know what I mean? So,
oh boy.
So it's so far it seems pretty good. I know what I want to sound like. That's the easy thing is to mix my own stuff. But when I get to other people's stuff, I know they got certain expectations as well. But yeah.
So I hear you on that. I had my own home studio in my place in Hyde Park.
Yep.
I recorded tons of people over there. Right Hook, Slain, Amadeus, Black Medine. A lot of people, even a lot of big nationals. I had Pace One in there, Hellraiser in there. I mean, I had some big guys come through there, and I understand needing to record and be creative when you have time. Especially if you're a busy person.
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't do is I didn't try to learn how to mix. I was like, you know what? Like, I'll record everything and get it where it needs to be, but I'd rather an engineer mix my stuff. Just because I just wanted to be on I just didn't have time to learn it, and I knew that someone else probably could make it sound better than I could.
For sure. But that's what was good with COVID. I had nothing but fucking free time, I was laid off. So like, I just deep dived into it. Now I got like this other thing that like potentially can make me some extra bread, help pay the rent at the studio and shit, so it's nice.
Oh, so now you're taking clients even.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bold again?
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of years, man, It's like,
go ahead.
So, cause like, most of the people I work with, it's like the boom bap shit. So it's not like I got to go in and make them sound like a pop star or nothing. You know what I mean? Like most of the time it's like just some like boom bap, like as long as the vocals are clean, not like the levels all over the place. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's like the easier part of the hip hop shit to try and mix and master and shit,
So I'm going to go back to that because you say you work with mostly boom bap people. You are younger than me.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, a little bit.
26 years old you are?
Yeah.
Now, most people your age are not listening to boom bap hip hop, right? They're listening to more what's newer and popular, correct?
Yeah, I feel like I'm on like the cusp line. You know what I mean? Like couple of years younger than me, it's really like no boom bap at all. But like mine and like a couple of years up in age, like that's, I don't know. It's just kind of like what I grew up listening to. You know what I mean? Like, I have a brother who's like 8 years older than me. So he was showing me all the 90s shit when I was young. You know what I mean? So
shout out older brothers, man.
Yes.
Out. I was, a lot of growing up too. We had my boy's older brother had was hipped us to a lot of stuff. So older brothers are good for that.
Yep, absolutely.
So what were some of your influences?
So like when I first like started listening to rap, it was when like Aftermath had like the whole takeover where it was Eminem, you had 50 Cent, G-Unit, Dre, like all of that. Yep. So I went from that and like Tupac and Jay-Z and Biggie and all that. Then over the years I started developing and I really deep dive into like the indie rap shit, you know what I mean? Like you got like Atmosphere, Dilated People, shit like that, you know what I mean? So kind of.
What made you want to deep dive into indie rap?
I don't know. Honestly, like, I know it's a meme now, and everyone's just like, it's like, oh, this song was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 or some shit, but like, that's literally it. I was playing Tony Hawk, and I hear like Atmosphere and Idea and shit, so I'm just like, all right, this shit's pretty cool. It's like not what you hear on the radio. So just kind of.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a very viable point. I mean, I started listening to hip hop in the early '90s, but when indie rap took over, I went that way too. I was kind of done. I was kind of done with the commercial sound and the repetition, and I just wanted something new and fresh and something with a little more substance.
Yeah, exactly.
You get that with underground, the underground indie, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So Atmosphere, I always hear a lot of Atmosphere influence in your music. I hear that. Talk to me about Atmosphere because they're really, in my opinion, pioneers of indie rap completely.
Yeah.
I mean, what they brought something original to the game.
Yeah.
That had not been done yet at the time, and not everybody loves slug, but if you're into it, that music's really good, and I liked a lot of that music. I mean, I don't listen to as much as I used to, but in the beginning, in the early 2000s,
absolutely,
Atmosphere could do no wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah. So what I like about them is it's always them two. You know what I mean? So it's always like you got I think a dope rapper and you got a fire DJ making all the beats. So and just what they did, like you said, pioneering like this DIY indie shit. They're from a place like kind of like we are, where record labels aren't really here and they're not really looking for us. So you got to build your own shit and take it however far you can, and they did that.
So. And my boy, it's funny because my boy Peter Parker,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My childhood friend was out here. He moved out to Minnesota.
Yes. Yes. I
And
remember. I've seen his radio shows with
yeah.
before. So yeah.
So he went out there, and I had schooled him to Atmosphere because he wasn't really into it.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Yo, what Atmosphere is doing is dope,
Mm-hmm.
and it's original, and it's its own thing." You know what I mean? So when he
Yep.
went out there and got on the radio, he started playing that music because he was now he's in Minnesota. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this local stuff.
Yeah.
This is Rhyme
Yeah.
Sayers. He was playing
Yeah.
Brother Ali,
Yep.
Atmosphere,
Absolutely.
and they were shocked because they were never been on the radio at all.
Yeah.
They were
No
like,
shit.
oh, this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
So he helped kind of bridge that gap there for a while. And let me ask you this: what's your favorite Atmosphere album?
Ooh, so for me, it's probably Seven's Travels or the Lemons album. One of those two. It's tough for me because I love the storytelling that he does on the Lemons, but I don't know. I kind of like the grittiness of the Seven's Travels.
Mine is I'm looking at the list right here. Oh man, this is tough.
It is tough. They got like 15 albums now, so it's tough.
And the other thing is, the other thing is they're consistent as hell.
Yeah. So I last summer I was in San Diego. Me and my girlfriend took a vacation, and we actually caught them in Cypress Hill while we were in San Diego. Bro, still fucking kill it. Fucking awesome, bro. I've never seen an outside fishbowl before. It's fucking crazy. Yeah.
I'd say for me, Atmosphere is probably I'd have to go Lucy Ford.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good one for sure.
The woman with the tattooed hands.
Yeah.
Tough to top that beat.
Same with Guns and Cigarettes, you know? It's like the whole time, like you got like the little crowd noise and shit in there. It's great. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these songs. Yeah, don't ever fucking question that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many good ones on it. Yeah. If I Was Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I mean, this album, when this particular one came out, I remember when this one came out. This is like 2001.
Yeah.
There's nothing like this.
Yeah.
That I had heard up until this point. You know what I mean? Like, who was rapping like this with this type of perspective? It was like, oh. What the fuck? And like from New Hampshire. I'm from New Hampshire. So
yeah.
We get down with this type of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But word, yeah. So yeah, moving on. Yeah, I mean, and then I noticed you commented on that Cypress Hill documentary I watched. Did you see that too?
I haven't seen it yet. But what is it? What is it on?
Showtime, I think.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's really dope. I would have loved to see Cypress Hill and Atmosphere together.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great.
Yeah, so shout out to them.
Yep.
So moving forward, so we got Atmosphere. Who else we got in the roster that's inspired?
So I fuck with Evidence. Like I listened to a little Dilated, like growing up, but then with Evidence signed to Rhyme Sayers and shit, like all those albums are like phenomenal to me. Who else? Obviously, being from Mass, Slain. Slain is a fucking absolute beast. I remember my first show at the Middle East was the St. Patrick's Day show. I think right when King of Everything Else was about to drop or just dropped. I can't remember, but
yeah, pick of you in there.
Yeah.
So you're from Weymouth, right?
Yep.
Born and raised.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. When you back up a little bit, your voice kind of cuts out, so just be kind of careful. Cool. I'm sorry, I don't mean to give you that.
You're good, man. You're good.
My wife's from Weymouth.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yep.
All over Weymouth. Were you north or south Weymouth?
So I lived like in between like East and the Landing, which is like West Weymouth. So I grew up like right in the middle.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's funny because I had never really known much about Weymouth.
Yeah.
And I moved to Boston and I started working with all these artists from Weymouth.
Yeah.
Opened me up to a whole
Yeah.
Quincy, Weymouth.
All the South Shore,
Yeah, I call it. And now I live in Hull.
Yeah.
So I call that whole area the Irish Riviera.
Yep. How do you like it out in Hull? It's fucking beautiful.
Well, yeah, man. I'm looking out, out the window right now. I'm looking at the ocean.
Yep. Hell yeah. Can't beat that.
Nantasket Beach. But talk to me about growing up in Weymouth, because I know that wasn't probably an easy thing from what the stories I've heard about growing up in Weymouth.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, like, it's not like the worst place in the world to grow up, Like, It's like it's mostly all like middle class people and stuff like that. But dude, it's weird. Like the drug culture there is absolutely nuts. You get exposed to some shit that you probably shouldn't, especially at like the age. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in this neighborhood, and I would go down to the park, bro, and there'll be needles everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And this is just like in the middle of like some suburban neighborhood. So like just being exposed to that, then obviously down the line, you got friends that start doing all that shit, then people start dying, stuff like that. That's always tough, you know?
Yeah. Epidemic is real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of craziness on the South Shore, I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I actually live in Plymouth now, but since I moved there, like it's like just like shootings and shit, like drive-by shootings and shit now. I'm like, oh my God, man.
In
Like,
Weymouth?
yeah. Like last year, I think there was like 5 shootings or some shit.
Really?
Yeah. So I was just like, that never really happened when I lived there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit, and Weymouth's big.
yeah,
I mean, it's a big.
yeah,
I don't think people realize how big Weymouth is.
yeah, and it's a city now too. Like when I
Yeah.
first moved there, it was a town, but they like switched over to a city, so obviously more people live there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's a good area because it's close to the beach.
Yep, yep.
And it's close to the city.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
you kind of get both. You're close to both things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep,
So
yep.
it's a cool spot.
Yeah.
It's got its issues just like anything else.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie and act like it was miserable when I lived there, man. I had a lot of good times growing up there.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. You work in the union?
Yeah. Yep.
Which one?
So I work in the sprinkler fitters union.
Sprinkler fitter. Is
Yeah.
it sprinkler fitters or pipe fitters? What's the difference?
There's two. So pipe fitters, like they do like a lot of like HVAC piping and shit like that. Sprinklers, like we literally just like run all the piping for the sprinkler heads that are supposed to put out fires. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is, if you're ever building anything, and I worked in venues dealing with sprinklers and the whole fire thing, and it's just like a pain in the freaking butt.
It is, man. I work in it. I get it.
It's just so many rules and regulations
Yeah.
around it. It's just
Oh
my God.
Well, it's that nightclub fire that happened in Providence. Like that really like kickstarted a lot of stuff, especially around here. You know, they don't.
And it's gotten way more intense since then. Even when we renovated Sonia.
Yep.
The fire alarm system with sprinklers that had to go in there in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Man.
I mean,
yeah.
There's all these automatic things like and if it goes off, the door's open. I mean, there's all this like sensors tied to doors and and it's all got it was just like and then if the fire alarm accidentally goes off, you can't touch it.
Yeah, you got to evacuate. Let the fire department come. Yeah, Cambridge fire can be a little difficult too sometimes for what they need.
I'll tell you one funny story about Cambridge fire. So do you know Burner, the rapper Burner?
Yeah, yep.
Smokes mad weed.
Yeah,
probably more than Cypress.
Yeah.
So he was first show we did with him, sold out the upstairs, and like he comes out with like a joint with like 4 more joints tied to the end of it. So it's like they're all lit like this.
Yep.
He plays the thing on stage, and the whole crowd just lights up. Like lights up smoking weed.
Yeah.
Fire alarms go friggin' off.
Man.
Like crazy, like instant. And I've seen a lot of smoking weed at the Middle East. I have never seen the fire alarms go off so fast in my life.
Yep.
And it was such a debacle that we had to he literally had to get on stage and be like, "Don't smoke weed because these fire alarms are gonna keep going off and they'll shut the show down."
Yeah.
And the owner of the club, he grabs it. He's like, "That's how you get the smoke out of the club." And he grabs the door, just this little exit door out the back. He starts going like this. I mean, there was so much smoke you couldn't even see. Just waving the door.
It's gonna get it out. Yeah.
Just do this
all day, the whole night.
Yeah. Then he came back and played the downstairs, and the same fucking thing happened again.
Oh man.
And the downstairs fire alarms were a lot more. They weren't as sensitive. Just from the years of abuse, and they were grandfathered in. But But he still set those off.
Yeah. Oh man.
Sprinklers, fires.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago, like one of the pipes burst or some shit there, right?
All the time.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, man.
Old building.
Yeah.
Old. The Middle East was never designed initially to be a club.
Yeah.
It was a restaurant, a bowling alley, and it became this entertainment complex piece by piece. So I mean, it
Yeah.
was just old, and to replace all this stuff is so expensive. So it's like they never really, they would just piece things together,
Yeah. Yep.
As it would break.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
but it was, there was a lot of old pipings, plumbing. It was like a nightmare sometimes.
Yep.
It was like,
Yep.
whoa. But we'll go back to Dilated Peoples, because I did see, here's a good show. I saw Dilated Peoples at the Middle East downstairs right when they did Expansion Team, that tour.
Oh,
When I
nice.
first moved to Boston. And it came right out to Clockwork. It was dope.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I really fuck with Evidence. I love his production too,
Yeah. It's funny because when he first came out, like, people were like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Evidence, but he's really solidified himself. Because he's like a really kind of rough voice, right? So, like, people weren't really used to that. And, but he is made his mark, man.
For sure. Outlast the beef with Eminem too, so that always adds a couple notches to the belt, right?
Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was the thing. So anyways, let's go back to you. Rapping. When did the rapping start?
So I was probably like around 14, like probably around 14. Like I had a couple friends that I started rapping with, we would link up, smoke weed, cypher, freestyle, all that shit. But it was probably like when I was like 15 or 16, like I recorded like my first song, you know what I mean? It's fucking awful, god awful. But I just kept at it just because I loved it, like I always loved rap as like a little kid, you know what I mean? So just kind of kept working at it, and here I am like 12 years later. So it seems to finally be paying off a little bit.
What was your first rap name?
So my first rap name was The Prospect.
Yes, The Prospect, dude. Yes. We always joke about first rap name.
Yeah, man.
So like The Prospect is great.
Yep. I wanted The Prophet, but there was another kid that was in Weymouth that was rapping that went by The Prophet. So.
So then it became Shawn Mics. Obviously, your first name is Shawn. I'm taking it.
Yeah, middle name is Michael. My mom used to always call me Shawn Mics when I was growing up, so I just switched it from like Mikes to Mics. Make it hip hop and shit.
So what did you do? Did you perform around the city? Because like I said, I didn't really see you around much.
Yeah, so
what were you doing?
I actually performed at the Upstairs probably like 20 times.
Oh, really?
So I used to do like with Keynote Company. They used to always have like the Sunday matinee shows. I used to hit those like as much as I could. I was always there.
Richard Collier.
Yep. I headlined there before, and I headlined Sonia's once too. So that was cool. That was a good experience.
You headlined Sonia?
Yeah. It wasn't like a crazy turnout for a show or anything. The guy kind of just asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was just like, fuck, you get to rap for 40 minutes, and my name's the big name on the ticket. I'll do it, Yep. So that was fun.
So you did that for a while?
Yeah, I did that for a while. Then obviously when COVID hit, it was hard because none of the venues were open. Then I linked up with bars and kind of just been performing a lot this past year for sure.
Right. Talk to me about the new album. All the Little Things?
Yeah, the Little Things.
The Little Things, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, so pretty much like it's been a rough year for me. Last May my mom got diagnosed with cancer. So that took me to a pretty tough spot. So writing this album I started right around there, you know what I mean? So it was just kind of going through a dark time. So like at the beginning of the album, it's like kind of these heavier, darker songs. You know what I mean? So it was pretty much like writing with her diagnosis as it went. So like listening to the album, like it starts like real heavy and dark, but when she started getting better, the song started getting better. Because at one point she was in remission, but unfortunately she passed away last month.
Very sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you.
I lost my mother-in-law to cancer a few years ago.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough going through that, Yeah,
it is. It's tough. It's a tough disease, man.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that happened.
Thank you.
The album was written mostly based around that.
Yeah.
You said you quoted her. the album is a quote, right?
So yeah, so pretty much like her going through this, like this is obviously the hardest thing that she's ever had to do in her whole entire life, you know? Like she's been through some shit, but this is some shit. And so when anyone would just like send her flowers or like call her or anything, she was so grateful for all the little things. You know what I mean? Like that's what she told me, that like be grateful for the little things, you know? So that kind of stuck with me. Then I wrote the song, The Little Things, and I was just like, this feels like kind of like a pretty standout track, you know? So, and I kind of based the rest of the album around that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And then, you know, she got a good, it's a very good point she makes, you know, it is the little things we take for granted, you know.
Absolutely.
I mean?
Absolutely.
We live in a world now where it's like people want more, right?
Yep.
We always want more, and we don't really take much time to appreciate what we have.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and we're busy. So we make our lives so busy that we also, too, like we can't appreciate the little things. You know, it's like that whole stop and smell the roses type thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, that's some great wisdom she gave you, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully you can carry that. You know, I'll be carrying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be trying to carry that.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, it's do you think that this is some of your best work?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, especially like album wise, I feel like it's the most cohesive. You know what I mean? And it was a learning curve too, because obviously I'm recording and mixing and mastering all this shit. You know, so it was like the first project that I was really like solely hands on. Like this is like my baby. Besides making all the beats, because I can't make beats for shit. But
I'm surprised. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
I know.
The studio and the mixing and the video shooting.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, video shooting. Now the beats are coming. Who does the beats? Who do you work with for production?
So I found a couple cats on BeatStars, because like when the album started, like obviously like I have like a certain like type of style, you know, it's like mostly like the boom bap sample type shit. So
love it.
So I was kind of going through that, but I found like a couple people that like I really fuck with, and if they lived here, I would like try to persuade them to start a group with me, because they're great. Because I just need all those type of beats, you know.
Yeah. So what was it? So what are the names?
So there's this cat, that kid Goron.
Okay.
And then Lucid Sounds, they produced a couple of them.
Lucid Sounds, I feel like I've heard. I don't
know. Yeah. Then there's this cat, Salonic. I think he's from like Greece or something. He produced that song, Balance Beams, which is fire. So
Balance Beams?
Yeah.
Is that your song?
Yeah.
Okay,
he produced the song Balance Beams off the album. He killed that shit. Yeah. Yep.
And you're mixing all their beats down too?
Yeah, so pretty much like
and they're okay with it?
Well, no. Like I buy like the wave, you know, like the leases and shit. You know what I mean?
So it already comes mixed.
Yeah, it already comes.
Okay.
It already comes. Yeah.
So are those like licensed beats you're buying? You're licensing them, or you're buying them exclusive?
Yeah. Like the unlimited, like the unlimited leases. Yeah, like the unlimited leases.
So do other people are other people allowed to use these beats?
Yeah, they can. It's just like tough, like where I'm at right now, for me to spend like $500-$600 like per beat. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the economic thing, you know.
I mean that's the struggle, you know, because you know, you want good. This is a dilemma I see with artists a lot, and it's, you know, you want good production, but can you afford it?
Yeah,
you know?
that's the thing.
But it's a tough balance, because you need good production.
Absolutely.
So it's like a lot of people, they can't afford it, or they don't think they should pay for it.
Yeah.
Shoot themselves in the foot, because if they buy bad beats, the song's going to suffer.
Yeah.
And we live in a world where there's 60,000 songs being uploaded to streaming every day. If you don't have good quality music, it's gonna sink.
Yep.
You know, so that's the dilemma. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to afford this shit.
But what's nice now, it's not like before, where like you could get fire beats, you just get the lease instead, you know. But the problem is, like I've seen it at shows, like you see someone perform, then a couple sets later the dude's got the same beat.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle. You gotta try and find the ones with like the low view count, you know, so you know people aren't really deep diving into it, you know.
Well, I mean, it's you know, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
Yeah, yeah. At least buy the lease and support the producer too. Don't steal the beats, you know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, lease is better than nothing if you can't
Yeah,
afford the
yeah,
exclusive.
yeah, yeah,
But you know, it's tough, man. It's tough being an indie rapper and paying for all this shit.
yeah, yep, yep.
Even me these days, it's still hard to pay
Yeah,
for all this shit.
yeah. It
You
is,
know,
man. It
like,
is. It is. It's fucking hard.
and you're working I'm not gonna call it a 9 to 5. It's more like probably a 7 to 3, right?
Yeah, 6 to 2, 6 to 2. Yep,
6 to
yep,
2,
yep,
and then trying to do all this shit. You
yep,
know, it's not
yep,
easy, man.
yep.
So salute to you for that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, it sucks. It takes up a lot of time, but it helps me be able to fucking fund a lot of this shit myself, you know?
How is that working for such an early morning job and then trying to be a rapper at night? That's got to be a tough balance.
Yeah, so like sometimes you got to sacrifice the sleeps, you know? You got to sacrifice a couple hours, but I mean, it could be worse, you know? Like I could work a job that wouldn't pay me X amount, you know, and still be struggling to do this while working that job, still 8 hour gig, you know what I mean? Every day. So
Do you like being in the union?
yeah. It's cool. It's cool because you know that you work for like a big corporation or some shit. You know they're just trying to get over on you somehow. You know that's what's good. You got certain rules and regulations that all these companies got to follow. So
Yeah.
you're not getting screwed in the end.
And you got pension too, right?
Yeah, you got the benefits, all that. Yep.
Yeah, because one of the last things that has the pension these days.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't really do them anymore.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
So I guess what's next? What's on the
So
future docket?
So last year I started my own label, Matt's Made Media. So I've been working with a couple artists, CXP and Easty. So hopefully get some records out with them. Been doing a lot of work with them in the studio recently. So they're definitely coming, and they both got heat for sure.
CXP?
Yeah, CXP and Easty. You might know Easty. He was in Have Notice back
That
in the
sounds
day.
familiar.
The group from Weymouth. I feel like they rocked a few shows for you.
They probably did.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet the AWOL guys? AWOL?
No, that's Chris, right?
Yeah, Chris Tishizu.
Yeah.
Stress. We used to call him Stress.
Yeah. I met him before, just being around the South Shore. But what?
And the dude that was in the group, the producer, Knox.
Yeah, I know Knox. Oh yeah,
Weymouth. Now producing for Webby, Joyner Lucas, and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
He's
doing
it well. So
yeah.
He's from Weymouth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like even like as I was a kid, because like I would listen to like the local cats like around, you know, like I kind of got sucked into like the MySpace shit and like all the local people around. And even I remember like 12 years ago, like just hearing like Knox beats like in the beginning of all these dudes beats, and now look at him, dude, he's out here killing it.
Yeah, he was really good. Even back then, I mean, he was only like, you know, that was probably 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
He was only like 18.
Yeah.
You could tell this kid had a lot of potential.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh. Word, Shawn. Well, this has been good, man. It's great talking to you, man. And good luck with the album and all the
Thank you,
moves.
brother.
I'm sure we'll be talking more down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you having me on here.
No doubt, man. And like I said, condolences about your mother, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Leedz Edutainment Podcast, brought to you by WTB. With my man, Shawn Mics. Thank you, brother. Talk soon.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Bye.
Definitely.